Aloha everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is not going to be typical of what I usually do, where I talk about surrounds. There's been something that's been pretty heavy going on Maui, and I'm sure you folks have all heard. Um, but that's what I'm going to be talking about today. This is me at work. There was a big fire on August 8th, and this is the next night going into the early mornings of the 10th. I actually came in 14 hours early to start my shift, so a total of 62 hours. The guy before me was running rugged all day during the fire. He's on for, I believe, about 32 hours and no sleep. So I came in to relieve him, to give him a little bit of rest. Lots of stories from him that you wouldn't believe. Questioning himself about certain decisions he's made, and whether it saved lives or didn't save lives. Driving through the fire and wondering if he was going to survive. Pretty crazy stuff. He said there are people walking around with second and third degree burns, full of soot, looking like zombies. My first glimpse of Lahaina after the fire was actually nighttime, and could barely see much of the destruction. You see a bunch of down power lines and some burned structures, but for the most part, it didn't look too bad until morning came around. I ran a bunch of calls, didn't get any sleep, and the sun started coming up, and this is me driving through the area.
That's all still there. This side is all burnt.
Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. I came across this YouTube content creator by Nuts and Bolts, and the footage that he's showing, it's all new. I don't think anybody else has put this footage out. This is his actual footage. I believe he's a paramedic in Maui, and the video is about 13 minutes long, but there's a lot of things on here that that nobody's seen, and this man has some information that's kind of is very unsettling. So I think it's important that we push out this video for him. I checked out his page. This is the only video he has on this. All his other content is way on the left side, just stuff that has nothing to do with any of the fires or anything like that. But before I continue, I just want to thank the new subscribers, everyone checking out my content. I've been putting out my content also on Truth Social and on Rumble, so don't forget to please comment, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Trying to get my my subscribers up, trying to reach 100 by my birthday, which is next week on the 15th. If not, hopefully by the end of the month. But till then, let's watch this video and pay close attention. I'm going to cut in a couple of areas and point some things out. And like I said, pay close attention. It's a lot of unsettling things that he says and information that he has. But let's get this going.
Burnt down. Church is still good. Still some smoldering buildings over there.
This is kind of where the edge of the fire was. On the left side, there were some new buildings that were coming up that wasn't touched. On the right side here, there was a bunch of older industrial buildings. Some were burned, some were spared.
You can see the path of the fire just kind of went through here and down the hill.
All the black areas that you see here is scorched from the fire. Usually it's dry grass in this area.
So this is all up Lahaina Luna. Looks like all these houses survived.
Unfortunately, this fire also affected a bunch of my co-workers. 3 of them lost their houses, and 1 of them actually lost their lives.
I'm just gonna cut it real quick. He is a paramedic, I believe. I haven't heard any of that news. I remember one of my last videos, saying if there was any civil service workers that suffer from this. He just stated that one of his coworkers passed away from the fire. So if that's a paramedic, that's something that I haven't heard. Maybe somebody else has. Point it out to me if you can. But yeah, it's kind of strange that they're not putting out still to this day. You know, they're not putting out the numbers of all the children missing and the total number of people so far that they believe have passed away. They're still stuck on that low number, which is kind of disturbing. But let's continue.
Wow, that house survived right there. I think that's the same house that survived the last time there was a fire. Like everything around it burned down except the house. And the smell in the air is just pure smoke. It's all you smell.
This is a view from the side of the house that survived. Everything around it was burned. And this is exactly how it looked like 4 years ago when there was another big fire that destroyed a bunch of properties.
For Medic 14, just a heads up. Medic 3 is heading to a case, and we have one pending at Kalama, send out Medic 5. Medic 5?
Central 5, anyway.
I can hear the tiredness in everybody's voices on the radio. They're being really professional, but I know the heartache everybody is going through at this moment.
Medic 15 standing by, still in the item.
That's right. I'll get somebody else rolling and fire. In disregard.
At this point, I still haven't seen the true damage that was out there. But in a few hours, I come back and see all the crumbled houses and huge buildings just collapsed.
Kuumana looks intact. Just a little bit down that way, maybe a quarter mile, all the houses are gone. Somehow Kuumana survived.
I couldn't see it from my angle, but there were a bunch of houses inside Puamat that were burned.
With all these down power lines.
Transport, thank you. Medic 10, start heading to GA at Coloma Park. Sick call, difficulty breathing.
Still smoldering.
Medic 14, we can take the phone to you.
10-4, let me know when you're ready. Your number is 13487. 13487.
All the trees at Lani and Folk are all down. That is crazy.
It's hard to see how big those trees were. And there wasn't any fires on this side. It looked pretty normal. So I believe it was just the wind that blew those big trees down.
Always 17. Some difficulty breathing.
Thanks for referring call last night.
So there's a homeless encampment in there, and also a huge encampment in here, which seems all untouched. So all the hardest hit areas was all closed off, so couldn't drive through it and show you guys what it really looks like. This is all the outskirt damage.
At this point, I was leaving Lahaina. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get to come back, but I do come back and I get to go through one of the main roads of Lahaina, and you'll see the wreckage. This is about 2 in the afternoon now, and I'm coming back into Lahaina on the main road that goes into the city there. That's the first road that goes into Front Street. As you can see, it's blocked off. It's hard to see, but on the left side, usually there would be houses that's visible from this area, but they're gone, they're leveled. And what's weird to me is look at all these trees that are still standing within all these houses that were reduced to rubble. It makes no sense to me.
The Did you guys catch that? All the houses were burnt down except the trees. That's an impossibility for that much chaos, that much wind and fire to be burning, and none of those trees burned down. But listen to what else he says about the trees.
There are so many things about this quote unquote wildfire that just don't make sense. I have a video that I can't show here, but it's of a cat and it's in a walking position on all fours, but it's dead. It's basically like a statue. The hairs are still on there, but it basically died like instantly, and it just stayed in that position, which is really weird. That it
Now tell me if that's not strange, people. He says he has a video that he can't show of a cat in a walking position, dead. Like stoned or petrified or whatever the case is. Because he says the hairs are still on the cat. Now, what natural disaster does that to any living creature on the planet? How in the world does that happen? It's almost as if something happened that stopped time itself. I want you guys to really listen to that, what I just said. And dig deep and look up information. What natural disaster, what force in nature can stop something dead in its tracks, okay, in mid-stride, and just end your life, end time for itself right then and there, and still leave you or some animal or anything still intact? It gets better.
it wouldn't fall down. That doesn't make sense in a regular fire, does it? I also have another video that I wish I could show you, but I can't and I won't. And God, I don't think I can even talk about it. But just something that doesn't make sense. Isn't it so bad that we can't talk honestly and openly about certain things, that we might face repercussions or something in the future? Folks, the truth is out there. The evidence is there. And you guys got to go out and look at it and make a decision of what you think and whether you.
Now, I agree with him 100%, and I'm sure that 90% of the population on the planet does also. My thing is, I really would like to see the videos that he's talking about and see the strangeness that he's talking about. Don't know if there's any way to contact him, or, you know, if it's something that that people want to put out. Obviously, it's got to be something big, and I wish he would. Or I wish he'd give that information to somebody, and somebody would. Because, you know, everybody knows this is not anymore, you know, a theory about Mother Nature anymore. I mean, I believe that everybody, besides the ones that were in on it, everybody's in agreement that this was nothing natural at all. This was nothing to do with Mother Nature. And, you know, I totally feel what he's talking. You know, what he's talking about is that so many people are afraid to talk, but that's the problem, people. People need to talk. You know, they shut down one content creator, 10 more are going to come back. It doesn't matter. You know, the powers that be cannot be doing this to humanity. And remember that. With God on our side, yeah, they can silence the masses just for a bit. But they'll never silence the truth entirely. But let's continue.
You think there's something going on here that isn't normal. Try to pay attention to all the trees that are still standing amongst all these flattened houses. The temperatures that it takes to melt and crumble these houses should easily burn down trees, correct?
Wow. Incredible. It's a bad nightmare. You just wish you could close your eyes and open them back up and you just waking up to a regular day. Pretty incredible.
Go ahead.
Gas station.
Where are we doing returning? EMS 1 to AMR transport unit manager there.
For me, Candy, this is Johnny.
County, we're just wanting your ETA since someone's waiting for the rig.
We are passing within Queen Line. We'll be there in the next 7 minutes or so.
Copy that, thank you.
On the left would have been a row of stores, probably 2 stories, and it's just gone, crumbled. That's should have been a gas station here. Then across the street, still on the left side, is a bank that would have been there.
Look at all this destruction as he's driving. Total destruction, but yet trees are up. They have leaves on them. How does that happen? How does the fire go from this side to that side, or whichever way it was, or going up and down? It doesn't matter. But if this fire was strong enough to melt aluminum in the cars and melt glass and all that, as they say, that, you know, some people are saying, oh, because it was like a blowtorch effect. So how in the world did these trees survive? You know, the proof is all over the place that this whole thing is unnatural. And that's why there's so much media blackout. That's why so many people are being told to stay away. That's why they're cleaning up the area and getting rid of as much dirt as they can. I'm surprised, in all honesty, that they're only cleaning up the area in Lahaina where most of the people lived. But yet all these areas, where's the cleanup? Now, I know this was the next day, but if you notice in all my other previous videos and all the videos you've seen online, it's only one area that's cordoned off. Everything else is just left on the outskirts, and it's like, why? I mean, these are questions that, again, the powers that be do not want to answer. They know the answer, but they just don't want to answer. And this is why I believe, and this is my opinion, okay? This is why I believe that I don't think all those children that are missing perished. There is too much inconsistencies going on here to keep believing everything the fire chief, the governor, the mayor, the police chief, all of them have to say. It's like their answers, their reasoning at this point is just mute. To everybody, it just, no, it's not. There's more videos coming out now of people complaining on other parts of the island, on the other islands, complaining about they need access to find out who their family members are. So little by little, because I've been talking about it, where are the family members to all these people? Where are the mothers, the fathers to these children that have gone, you know, that supposedly perished if the parents weren't home to save them? It's all coming out. It's all unraveling. And if they thought, or they still think, that they're going to take Lahaina to build that 15-minute city, they're wrong. Because answers, not so much that answers are coming out, but the high strangeness is coming out more and more, and it's waking people up more. And that is fuel to the masses. No pun intended. That is fuel to the masses to fight back and point out these evildoers, whoever was involved with this. But let's continue.
That used to be Kaiser Permanente.
I mean, everything is gone, both left and the right side. But look at all those trees. Still standing. Leaves on the trees are still there.
That's impossible.
Sugarcane train, it's still there and standing.
That's impossible. You know, on a couple of my last videos, I put out that the truth is out there. Somebody either has the videotape and they're afraid to show it. They have it and they don't know they have it. Or somebody did record it and something happened to them because of the fire, but it's out there. Somebody will find it. Somebody will find. And in this day and age of technology, mark my words, this is where the powers that be think that they have everything under wraps. There is proof out there. And it will surface. It will pop up. This will not end up like another 9/11 when they shut down 1,000 worldwide architects and said that everything that they said was false, that they didn't know anything. Okay? That everybody had to believe what happened on 9/11. And you know what? I'll speak freely about it. I don't care. I was there. I know people that suffered and passed away because of 9/11. You can't shut up the truth. And in my opinion, a big part of me wants to say, you know what? I hope that it was natural, because it will bring a lot of closure and ease a lot of pain. But we already know the inconsistencies that started beforehand, where a lot of this could have been avoided. A lot of people the fire probably couldn't have been avoided, but a lot more people could have been saved. So that right there, instead of me feeling 50-50 about it, now I'm 80-20 about it. And the more information that comes out, like this video right here, it's just going to keep going up until it's going to be 100% that everybody's going to believe otherwise. And the powers that be will not get what they want. But let's continue. So much chaos, so much destruction. So much. Where's the cleanup crew?
That was still standing. Everything else around it is demolished.
On the right side were a bunch of stores and restaurants and like surfboard rentals, and they're just unrecognizable now. From here, most of the structures are intact. But what is strange are some of the structures in the middle of this where you can't see from this view. They were gone too.
People just walking around with their suitcases, nowhere to go.
It's horrible.
There's a little cat in there.
On the left side of this traffic light is Lahaina Cannery Mall, and that was almost untouched, pretty much all intact. And on the right side is Lahaina Gateway Center, also untouched. But right past these two malls, if you went straight there, there's another community, Wahikuli area, that's completely gone too.
Somehow all of this survives.
I just want to end this video by saying, don't take any day for granted.
We'll end it right there. I'll leave a description to this video. I mean, a link to this video in my description box. But people, this is just another video that's just come out. It's only been out for a day. I was going to put it out this morning, but I had to run to work. I was running late. And he's gotten so many views since this morning. I mean, he's up to nearly 200,000 views on this. So get to his page, show him some love. Get to his channel, I should say. And, you know, people need to ask questions. Don't be afraid. And I know that it's scary. I know that the powers that be like to push on people and threaten them and whatever the damn case is. But you know what? You know, they can cause destruction as much as they want. But they'll never destroy what God has created. And that's what people need to understand. You know, I mean, we all take chances, but when it comes to standing up, you know, for what's right and speaking truth, people need to understand that the rewards are in itself because you're telling the truth. You're standing up. Okay? And when you have something like this happen and so many people have suffered, you know, if they said that, you know, there was somebody went, you know, there was a war that happened and something like this happened, then people could say, you know what, that was because of war. If this happened somewhere, I don't know, where near some town that, you know, was some oil field town, or a town where they had a giant propane factory, then, you know, there's so many things people could, you know, argue about that and say, well, you know, that was because of this and this and this and this. But where's the proof in all this, in Maui, that all this destruction happened and was going to happen because of said things? But yet there is so many unanswered questions, so much high strangeness, where cars are nearly melting, but yet trees right next to them still have leaves. Where he said that he has a video of a cat still standing up as if in mid-stride, just dead. I mean, the only thing that for something like that to happen is a shockwave that literally takes all the wind with it in an instant. I highly doubt, okay, unless something around where that cat was at exploded, then that's something that could be said. If there was some sort of a fuel tank or something that exploded and just took the wind right out of that cat, you know, right in that area and took everything away. But that would have to be something massive. I mean, massive. I mean, there's footage back from World War II when they dropped those bombs on Hiroshima. Bombs dropped in Germany where people's the impressions of their silhouettes were how can I say, were like X-ray to the walls, but there were no bodies because it was the brightness of the flash. But obviously that didn't happen here. I mean, it would have been seen, I mean, definitely, you know, by people in California. I mean, a whole place would have been obliterated. So I'm not saying that's what happened. But something definitely, a lot of things definitely are strange. And it needs to be investigated. And I know just like hundreds of thousands of other people, maybe millions of people worldwide are waiting. Where is Congress? Where are the boots on the ground investigating this? Why are they speeding up to clean the place out? Why are they keeping people away from their property? Why is there still a media blackout? It's just too many questions and no answers. But anyway, that's what I got. Hope you liked the video. Please comment, like, subscribe, pass it around. Again, I'm True Outlaw Patriot. I'll leave a link in my description box to this gentleman. Show him some love. Again, if you can help out Maui in any way, you find a good, reputable donation center, do what you can. If all else, you know, prayers are always welcome, you know. And till then, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. Peace.